Yo, what's up, Fight Camp Squad? It's your boy Mike Rashid. So check it out. We just had a really awesome fight not too long ago with Canelo Alvarez and Callum Smith. It was a classic David and Goliath type of fight, and we got some really interesting fights coming up. We have Floyd Mayweather coming back fighting Logan Paul. Who would have thought? It's a lot of talk from old school boxing heads, new fans, people in the middle, casuals, everybody. Everybody's talking about whether boxing is being destroyed, the legacy of boxing is being tarnished by Floyd fighting Logan Paul or whatever. We just had a big fight with Mike Tyson with another YouTuber, Logan's brother, Jake Paul, leveling Nate Robinson. It's just so much to talk about right now, and I love talking boxing with my boys, and one of my boys is Berto. This is a two-time world champion, world-class athlete, and a dope human being. So anyway, I'm gonna slide him over to his crib, and we're gonna talk about some boxing. All right, let's go. What's up, squad? It's your boy Mike Rashid. Special guest, my baby bro.
What's going on,
Mr.
Berto?
Two-time world champion. We got a champion in the building.
Listen, man, I try to do what I can do.
so humble and modest. But yo, thanks for inviting me out to your crib or having me out to your crib, man. It's beautiful.
Appreciate
Look,
it, man.
we were in December.
Yeah.
It's like 80 degrees.
Beautiful out here.
Can't be mad at that.
Can't be at all, bro. You gotta take this all in and enjoy it.
Indeed. So, bro, you in shape.
Yeah, I try to stay. I try to stay in motion on the regular. Yeah.
All right. I'll wait and see if we have a fight announcement soon. I know a lot of people, especially myself, is hoping for that.
Yeah.
But let's talk about like boxing right now, bro.
Definitely.
We just had Canelo versus Callum Smith, right? What'd you think about the fight?
Man, the fight was I was a little disappointed in it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Canelo does what he does, but I haven't really seen much on Smith.
Mm-hmm.
But for me to see him and just see what everybody was saying on how tall he was, on how much reach he had.
Right.
I didn't see him use any of that fight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was an undefeated kid. I mean, you finally got that big stage.
Right.
To fight someone that's the best pound for pound, to really show your skills, show what you're all about. And, you didn't really show any of those type of
complete shutout.
Complete shutout.
It wasn't even competitive.
At all. I mean, you got a guy, Canelo, I mean, every time I met Canelo, we're about the same height, so about 5'8".
Yeah.
You see a guy that's 6'3".
That's amazing.
6'3".
So it's just to put in perspective, because people, size don't always matter.
Definitely doesn't matter.
It doesn't always matter.
Definitely doesn't matter. It's all about technique.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just like Canelo showed, he knew that he can get on the inside.
Right.
To be able to have that defense and be able to have that foot movement to work inside those long arms. And like I said, Smith just let him walk in. And that was the shit that I hated to see.
I don't think he could have stopped him though,
I wanted to just see more of a busy jab.
Yeah.
More of just him just using his reach and distance, because you have it.
Right.
You've been blessed with.
See, I always had the mind state of this. Like, Muhammad Ali is my favorite all-time boxer, but for more reasons than just boxing.
Definitely.
But I also feel like Muhammad Ali in his prime, Mike Tyson in his prime, Mike Tyson wins. I feel like a smaller fighter has an advantage.
Definitely.
So, and Mike Tyson you can't keep him outside.
Definitely.
And Canelo is smart
and
athletic and powerful and explosive. So it's going to be really difficult keeping him outside on the end of that jab.
Yeah, I mean, like, especially if you're like a tall fighter, and you're fighting a shorter fighter, it's always a little more difficult because you have to punch it down now.
Yeah, you don't have the leverage.
Exactly, you don't have the leverage. You got to punch it down, especially if you have a smaller fighter really knows how to use that size. If you're a good small fighter, you try to be smaller than who you are,
Right.
you know, so you can try to really get in the inside, really try to make it difficult for the taller fighter.
Right.
So I think, I mean, Canelo knew that. You know, he brought that pressure on, and he stayed behind a good jab.
He's excellent.
You know what I mean? He stayed behind a good jab. It was hitting him all night. So, yeah, I mean, he did what he had to do.
He gives constant pressure.
Definitely.
Especially with the big guys.
Definitely.
Kovalev, even the second fight with Triple G.
Yeah.
Like he always and the first guy he fought at super middle, I forgot his name, Rocky Felding. He's a big guy too, real tall, 6'2". So I love that. I mean, I think that he knows his attributes. And I just think, see, me personally, he's my #1 pound for pound in the game right now.
Okay.
Canelo is my guy.
Yeah, Canelo.
His resume, it speaks for itself.
Definitely.
And you know, I think he gets better every time he go out. Definitely. I don't think he's even in his prime yet.
Nah.
He just turned 30. He's still young. People forget how young he is.
Yeah, he's still young with it.
And he's exciting to watch. Kind of like you, when you fight, certain guys just box just to make score points. Some guys come in to put on a show. You know, Canelo, you know, Terrence Crawford, you know, it's a few guys that come in and put on a show. And it's a pleasure watching him fight. I enjoy watching him fight.
Yeah, man. I mean, me too, I'm a big fan of him too. I mean, especially for us that are shorter and you know, more stockier.
Right.
And to have that explosiveness, that speed, you know, that power, and know how to work it.
Right.
You know what I mean? To capitalize on it. You know what I mean? If you're fighting a taller fighter, whatever the case may be. So it makes it look good.
Like, to me, that's the advantage. If you look at, like, Mike Tyson's career, everybody fought was bigger than him.
Definitely.
You know, he got the Holyfield. Holyfield was an inch taller than him, so that was more difficult. Definitely. But I remember as a kid watching his tapes, and he would break down why his height was an advantage.
Yeah.
And it stuck with me. He was like, I have a low center of gravity. Punching up, you have more power because you're using your legs. And he said typically, and he's right, a shorter guy is faster.
Definitely.
You know, so, you know, you got that same weight, but that little man speed is dangerous.
I mean, it's a different type of advantage, but you have to know how to use that low size.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of fighters that know how to stay small, even make themselves smaller and to hide behind those big shoulders and the work their way in to make sure to capitalize. If you got a tall guy that's always punching down, he's always looking out though. I mean, on what's coming up, coming up. So if you got a guy that can use his legs and use his body, I mean, to really go in there and impose himself, man. I mean, you got a tough night.
I remember my father had me sparring this guy, Big Dave. Shout out to Big Dave, you out there somewhere. And he was 6'5", 250, just a big old dude, you know, and same height I am now, but 170, you know, years ago. And our first time sparring, I couldn't do nothing with him, right? And he didn't hurt me at all, but he just beat me. I obsessed thinking about it all day, all night. And the next time we spar, I'm like, I'm gonna stay in his chest. And I did that. Next time, like we sparred maybe 6-7 times. And then it was not necessary for us to spar anymore because he couldn't hit me. I was just, you know, just having my way with him, just staying close, like attached to him. So that's always the key with a smaller guy, smaller fighter.
Definitely.
So speaking of the shorter fighters, Mike Tyson.
Yes, sir.
Mike just fought. What'd you think about that? Him and Roy Jones Jr.
You know what I mean, like, just like I told you before with that. I mean, like, to be honest, I thought Mike looked good. Of course, you know, Roy was in a situation where he can see that Mike was still